Spencer, Jeff Hurst, the Trevor Brooking and Billy Bonds, Paolo Di Canio, West Ham United. We celebrate our victories, we stick together in defeat. I'm proud of our history, West Ham United, more than just a podcast, more than just a podcast.
Good afternoon, good morning, or good evening. This is more than just a podcast. It is season 12. It is episode 10. If you haven't already listened to episode 9, go back because this is a two-part week.
Like a Twix bar.
It is, and you're eating them in the wrong order. So if you're listening to this, question time, before you've listened to it, it's up to you. You can listen to episode 9 in whatever order you want. We're not going to prescribe.
Do you eat the left-hand side first or the right-hand side first? When you're opening up that Twix.
I'll be the right-hand side.
Right-hand side.
Oh, I eat the left-hand side.
Oh, well, you're a bit of a lefty, and we're probably a little bit of righties, so there you go.
You're left-handed?
No, I'm right-handed, but I open the left-hand side first. Well,
do you know what?
How'd you do that then?
What do you mean? Well, it's easy, right? So what I did is I hold it in my left hand. I use my right hand to tear the top. So I would tear from the
left-hand corner?
Left-hand corner.
Yeah.
Tear it open and push the left-hand one out.
So you go cack-handed to pull the corner off.
Well, how is it cack-handed? I'm using my right
because
hand.
You're going against the pull of your thumb and your finger.
No, I don't know.
It's like a paint stroke. If I did that the other way, I'd use my left hand.
All right, with a Kit Kat, are you having the top biscuit first or the bottom one?
What?
Well, when you're looking at a Kit Kat, yeah, you got 4 biscuits, haven't you? 4 rows.
Whoa!
One first?
2-finger Kit Kat.
No, there's 4.
Don't get a 2-finger Kit Kat. What are you talking about? Who has a 2-finger Kit Kat? What a waste.
People who don't want to put on weight.
Oh, fuck.
Hey.
Well, that ain't you, is it?
Ooh.
Kit Kat, it's
seesaw test.
You know what do you mean the top Kit Kat or the bottom Kit Kat?
Well, I don't know what he's talking about.
You got 4 planks.
Yeah, so do you have the top one? Do you eat from the top downwards or do you eat from the bottom upwards?
What are you talking about, you fool?
It's the same thing, isn't it?
It's a bit of 4 that you open it, right?
Yeah.
Now, a Kit Kat, it's called a Kit Kat.
We're talking about Kit Kats. It's supposed to be question time.
Well,
and
a Kit Kat,
what are they talking
funny enough,
about?
A Kit Kat is the size of a painting canvas that is used for a Kit Kat portrait, which is slightly longer, slightly wider than it is a regular portrait to fit in the torso and the hands. And that's where the name Kit Kat comes from a Kit Kat portrait. So it's that dimension. And it was made up of 4 planks and then the canvas board on the top.
Oh.
So
anyway, can we move on from Kit Kats to question time? It's a nice conversation, but no one really cares. It's time for this. It's Facebook Twitter question time, where you, the 829 listeners, get to ask us, the free presenters, questions or statements, or just read out shit or shout outs or whatever you want. It's your time. It's your show. Nigel. By the way, while you read out the first question, I'm just going to mute myself. I've got to check on the kids because Mrs. is in Croatia at the moment. I'm looking after dogs, kids, everything. So you're on your own for the first question.
All right. Was he gone? God,
sounds like
fucking drone on.
Go on.
Oh,
shut it!
Don't fucking change. A whole is part of the West Ham fabric, the new modern West Ham fabric. It don't matter who you are in what position, you don't fucking change at all. No one does. You realise, right? We come up in 2012, right? It's now 22. 10 years of fucking. Don't start. Yeah, I mean, if you put 10 years on from when we started watching West Ham and what we saw in them 10 years to what the people see now in the 10 years, good God, think yourself lucky.
Well, yes.
The first 10 years of watching West Ham, what you saw?
So
John Barr,
77,
wasn't it?
77, 78 to 87,
That was
88.
it. And nothing's
Yeah. So
that was it.
One relegation, one promotion, 3 trips to Wembley, one
Third place.
cup, a third place.
We would have got a European trip
Yeah.
if it weren't for Liverpool.
4 top 10 finishes in the top division, as well. So, yeah, but it was just about to all fall apart.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, I've always believed that the reason why or especially at Upton Park, a lot of the fan base was our age, because we were the kids of that mid 70s to mid 80s period, and we actually believed it would happen again.
Yeah.
There's just been no second
we just bloody
coming.
enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was just so much fun, you know.
Yeah.
People don't get it. It's easy to look now and think, what a big club we are, 60,000 fans and everything. You know, I can remember 15,000.
Yeah, I remember them.
So,
still on the first question.
No, we ain't
on
started
that yet.
We were slagging you off.
Oh, well, there you go. What a surprise.
There you go. So first up, so I'll just put question time, ask away. And 23 people so far have.
Oh.
First up, I'll make it our good friend Richard Dodds, well, only because he moaned last week. Apparently, I cut his question, which I didn't see. So if
You
I
do
don't
that
see
all
it,
the
I don't
time.
read it. Listen, I do what Facebook throws up. If Facebook cuts it, it ain't my fault. Anyway, Dodsy go, all right, my handsomes, how you doing? And no, this ain't no Dodsy vlog. This is Nigel reading it out. Oh, does Nigel feel like he's a character from Star Wars who's moved from the light to the dark side by employing Sean, me, Stelios and Nick and any other minion to do his work for his social media empire? No, I don't, Dodds. You wouldn't, well, you probably would believe what I have to fucking sit between. So there you go. But it's all the fun of the fair, apparently. Questions for your delight. Right. What do you believe is the best formation? And he says we've currently used 6 different formations. So we'll answer this first for the next one. Do you have a best formation? Just tell me what your best formation is. Sean.
Well, I think if you have a back four, there'll always be a back four.
Yeah.
So the first number would always be 4.
Yes.
Okay. I'm tempted to say 4-4-2.
Yes.
Tempted.
Yeah.
But that would only mean, have you got the right 2 strikers for that?
Right.
Because that's a bit fluid.
Okay.
But a 4-5-1 would just be the same. But what I don't like are the 2 midfielders, Souček and Rice, behind 3 other midfielders behind another one, because the teams are just running through it.
Yeah.
So if you look at the ends of games when we're trying to defend, we defend in lines and they have problems getting through lines. So when you're opening it up in some kind of 3 and a 2, they just go straight way through. So I'm going to stick to 4-4-2 or 4-5-1, depending on the strikers.
Before I totally agree with Len, Sean?
Well, he's not going to agree with me.
Has he gone?
Sean.
Sorry. Domestic. All right, to talk. Is it my turn to tell you which formation?
Yeah.
4-3-2-1.
4-3-2-1.
4-3-2-1.
4-3-2-1.
4-3-2-1.
So that's the Christmas tree.
4-3-2-1. It's so
So who would the 3 in front of the 4 be?
So you take your traditional back four, and I would put Rice, Souček, and probably someone like Fornals. And then I'm just saying,
Don't
it's
see how
a
that
bit of
works.
balance, right?
No,
it's all about
okay.
opinions.
Yeah, no, it is.
And then you have your,
Who?
I mean, you've got 5 in midfield, but you've got 2 slightly ahead, haven't you, in this formation? And you've
Well,
got 1 up front. Having 2,
if we
like
don't
David
need,
Moyes
if
says,
I said we don't, if I think we don't need the 2 at the back, why are you putting another one in?
well, I'm not putting another one in the back. I'm saying
You
4
are
at
if
the
you're
back,
saying 4-3-2-1.
4-3-2-1. So
Yeah,
So where are the 2? Are the 2 wide or?
the 2's wide, yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So you've got
4-5-1.
So that's a 4-5-1.
Well, do you know what? It sort of is, but it is called a 4-3-2-1, and I remember it, and it says it's
no,
a world.
no. Can I just point out,
Go
Sean?
on.
4-3-2-1 is known as a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I don't believe that was 2 wide players behind. So
Is
it's
it not?
One, no, they were more tucked in. So you can't do a 4-3-2-1 by having the 3
thought you
as
had-
Rice, Souček, and
I
Fornals.
thought you had your 4, then you have your 3 midfielders sitting just in front of them for defence, and then you have basically 2 wide
No,
wingers just running up the flanks, and then you've got your,
no.
putting it into a target man.
So it's 4. Then you have a 3 that sit inside the 4. Then you have a 2 that sit inside the 3, and then you had the 1 at the point.
Well, it's not the way. Look, I can say which way I want. You ask me, and I'll. Yeah, why are you asking me about football? You're asking a person. I gave my story, and I like the formation of 4-3-2-1. Right.
Right.
Well, you answer the question then.
Well, unfortunately, no. Len has bloody answered it exactly the same
Which is
way
what?
I do it. Well, if you'd have been listening, it's it's 4 at the back. Then you either have, preferably, I'd play a 4-4-2 because that gives you a proper 2 banks of
No
4.
one plays that.
and
Yeah, I
it
like
gives
the
a
2 banks of
protection.
4. Yeah.
And it gives protection to the 2 full banks. And they can support going forward, so they move forward together or they interchange. So if the fullback goes past the winger winger knows to sit back. So there's always protection. But as Len said, looking at what we got, we ain't got 2 to play up front. So I'd probably go with a 4-5-1.
I like to be different. You know
So
me.
I would probably play Paquetá off of Antonio.
Okay.
Yeah, that
So-
sounds nice. Then.
That's in a way it's like a link man. So either 4-4-1-1, but that ain't for me traditional. It's either 4-4-2 or 4-5-1. What he also says is, what is the one? So this is Dodsey, by the way. What is the one thing that's pissed you off the most since everyone's gone into meltdown over on social media over West Ham's current performance and position?
That
He
is,
says, "Len, keep painting."
Thank
Radio.
you. Radio.
do you know what? It is the knee-jerk reaction that pisses me off the most. It's so predictable and so boring.
But everyone who said, I assume you mean the knee-jerk reaction of Moyes out.
Yeah.
Okay. Although I'm not Moyes out, I must say.
there was a rumour going around. Someone took time to fake a Patreon update. I don't know if you've seen this going around from X to say that he had 2 more games to save himself. And I had so many people contact me on private message and email and DM and say, "Is it true?" I said, "What's true?" That David Moyes has been given 2 games to save it, otherwise he's out. And they'd seen this fake Patreon update. I mean, get a life. Have you got nothing else to do but to fake updates from X on the Patreon to say that, and people believed it?
I can't believe it. It's like people putting on, screenshots of the West Ham website saying David Moyes was sacked, and people not looking at
Do you
the
know
date.
what? That was funny.
Oh,
That was
of course,
funny,
when
but you know
you
who
do
did
it,
it?
it's funny, isn't it?
But I think it was Central who did that, and and when I looked twice, and of course there is a David Moyes departs, And you read it and you look at it, but you don't see it says 16th of May.
I did. I knew it was fake.
Oh, yeah, but it does
I
catch
could
some
see his
people
fake.
out.
He looks younger in it.
Yeah.
He
Anyway.
looks happier.
Yeah.
Oh, while we remember, we've got a question from a podcast. What used to be a podcast presenter when he used to turn up, and that is Jonathan Bucci.
Oh,
And Jonathan Bucci.
You reading the questions out now?
Well, I'm just going to say because I'll forget it's on WhatsApp. Question for the pod: why do you think we have gone back to the sort of stats as above that we had when
What's above, Sean?
Well, I'm going to read it out in a minute.
Oh.
When pretty much Moyes took over, is this the exit of Ivan and Irvine, and he says peace. I'm reading what you say, but it's Pierce he meant. So the stats he put in
could
is
be Irvine.
2 wins in the last 14 Premier League matches, 5 clean sheets in the last 10 months, 19th in sprints, 20th in tackles, 18th in possession, 1 in the final third, 16th in the league in shots on target, 19th in chances created, 19th in average possession. They are pretty damning.
Right,
I'm going to make a story out of
Right,
that.
hold up. So
They are
yeah,
pretty
right,
damning
hold up
stats.
before you make a story and then
Yeah,
fool
go on.
yourself.
They're not true.
So one, we don't know where these stats two from. Two, no, some, but 19th
I do. They
in
came from
sprint.
John. John sent
Right,
me
yeah.
them on
So
WhatsApp.
two wins in the last 14 Premier League, 5 clean sheets in 10 months, 19th in sprints. Since when? 20th in tackles. Since when? So you're going back into
But it's on
last
WhatsApp.
season.
It must
Hold
be
up.
true. John sent it to me.
18th in possession, 1 in the final third. Since when? You know,
This
don't
season?
pick
I don't know.
and choose.
I
Well,
would
yeah,
imagine
but
it's-
what then? That's what I'm saying. They're going, 2 wins in the last 14 Premier Leagues. But then what?
Yeah, all right.
If you're going to do that, go back over the last 14
Talk
Premier League
content,
matches
mate.
and see where we are in sprints and tackles.
Sorry, John.
and
You
possession.
won't be listening to this because you never listen to the podcast
No.
even when you're in it. So I
Shit
don't know why I'm
question.
reading it out, really. Go on, carry on.
Anyway, so talking of not asking a question, next up, it's the Colonel, Mr. Paul Sanders, who says, no question. Brady out!
Well, that was a quick one.
Brady out. Brady out.
I don't do that anymore. You know that.
We'll wait.
But your partner in crime has muted himself, so he can't say Brady out.
I'll wait. I'll come back.
Yeah. You might be waiting some time.
Next up, it's the old Bicester Hammer, the carrot cruncher himself. It'd be Grant Cruxford. Good evening, chaps. He thought it was a lovely send-off for Her Majesty. Makes me proud to be British. That it does, Grant.
It was. Do you know what? It made. I said last week I'm a royalist, and
Yep.
as you know, and I'm sure you got views. I did my bit.
Yep.
I was in London at Buck Palace and went to Windsor and I saw the hearse go by.
Yeah.
But Great Britain shows the world we're great again. We do stuff like that really well. And I was really proud of the BBC. I was proud of the royal family. I was proud of the establishment, the military. I just thought it, in front of 4 billion people, it made us, Great Britain, look great again. And there ends the party political broadcast for the United Kingdom Party.
Oh, why? UKIP now, are you?
No, I'm not UKIP. I'm not UKIP at all. I'm just proud to be British.
No, son. You be UKIP, don't we? No matter how diverted we might be as a country, continues Grant, we're stronger when we come together and find positive things we agree on instead of attacking and pointing out our differences. I love where you're
Yeah.
going, Grant, because when things aren't going well and panic and fear set in, remember, people, it's the strength and unity that will guide us through. Well said.
Yeah,
Well said.
I agree.
Well said. You get a-
Not everyone does, Grant.
He
quite
loves the
clearly,
podcast, and he looks forward, for some reason, to listen to us every week, and he thanks us for the time and effort. Moyes in, Brady out.
Brady out.
And if you ever listen back to this, Len,
Yeah.
you'll hear me waiting, because Paul Sanders said, no question, just Brady out.
Brady out. I've got to wasted
Very
the Brady out.
What
There
were
we
you doing
go.
when you
I-
muted yourself? Were you,
I had to go and get a drink because I'd
right.
Oh yeah. Well,
been too long without.
Not a quick
Not alcohol.
amorous embrace with the
lift,
cleaner.
lift me hanging.
No, not alcohol.
All right. Mr. Paul Noland, the chauffeur, he says
beep,
evening all.
beep,
He's
beep.
he's not said that, but he said I may have missed a cut off. You ain't, Paul. We just started.
Yeah.
He said I love the fact the old West Ham is being back in the losing, and it was good to see Grant Croxford on Saturday night in Bicester. Brady out.
Brady out.
And Grant says, Paul Nolan, isn't it amazing that 2 out of the 8 or 9 listeners were in the same place and it wasn't the London Stadium?
There you go.
Well, there you go.
So
More
Paul
than
Nolan's
just a
from
podcast.
Barchester.
Yeah, we're big in
Ah.
Bicester.
How
There you
about
go.
that?
Isn't it? There you
How
go.
about that?
There's only one carrot cruncher though, Grant.
Who's that?
Grant.
Oh.
There you go. Poor old Mr. Noland. He had a nice seat next to me, all lined up. And then the Queen had to die and they cancelled the Newcastle game. Anyway, next up, Chris Savile Rowe. He's the Taylor man. Says, how are we going, fellas? Survival, obviously, is always the key. But do we now put all our attention on the cups? Start our best 11, whatever that is, he says in brackets, in the Conference and League Cup and give players a rest in the league. Brady out.
Brady out. I try something different than the league.
Yeah,
If that means the same thing.
yeah. Well, maybe.
Not just fucking like for like and doing the same thing.
Hmm.
It doesn't, you know. For,
Quick, Sean, what do you think? Quick, Sean, there's a
What do I
Play
think
on
it's an
about what?
oxymoron.
yeah. Talking of oxymorons, do you want to answer this, Sean? Start our best 11 in the cups, or is it a league?
Oh,
thing
that
still?
question. Do you know what? It's still a Mickey. We should be able to win this with our B team, and I don't want to stop Areola and Skamaka and Cornet, etc. Look. It's our old favourites letting us down, and they need to get their form back. So I would carry on with the team. You know, I wouldn't drop. I'll carry on with the team that keeps on winning with Skamaka and Cornet and the rest of them and Paquetá. You know, it gives them a bit more confidence and a bit more experience. So no, I wouldn't change it because in his mind, the best team are the old favourites. He plays the Premier League, and I think we'd start losing if that happened.
All right.
You think he thinks that's his best team?
I do, yeah.
Well, he needs sacking then, doesn't he?
Oh, here we go.
Well, I mean, what you've said there, he can't think that, surely. If he does, he needs sacking.
I think he does. Why else? Do you think he's just picking that team? On a
No,
Sunday
I
just
think
to-
he thinks he's not players aren't in there because he thinks they're not ready. But they won't be ready playing once a week in Denmark. Although I think the 2 Danish teams have been very good. I'd like to add. But if we need these players to come up to Premier League speed, as the saying is, then they have to play in the Premier League to get in the Premier League speed. You got to throw you got to throw people in the deep end at times. That was definitely Goodison Park, because I'm going to be honest. Although there was a few good performances individually from Everton players, I thought they were there for the taking as well. If you went out,
Yeah, definitely.
because the back four, although they were good, 2 centre halves are good, they did stand off a couple of times. I don't want to go over the game again, but Antonio was clear through. Ben Rama obviously saw they stood off and put a shot at the post.
That was deflected
target.
onto the post. That took
Was it?
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
took a
see that.
right nick off of the player's toe that put a bit of spin on it. And I couldn't work out whether the spin helped the ball or actually.
Yeah.
I think it sort of took it onto the post.
So what point is, if he thinks they are the players that did nothing, absolutely stone cold nothing, if he thinks those is his best players, then he's firing. Because they're not. Because he saw the better team come on when they were 1-0 down and substituted. Oh, what's this all about with 4 nails on the left hand side playing like a left wing back? See, I think he's a good player. I mean, if we did play as a 4-4-2, I think you'd have a shout at being one of the midfielders in the centre. But there you go. Makes you think a bit more 4-4-2.
Yeah.
It does. I'd like to thank Sean for that text he's just sent, improving what I said right.
Hang on, but I just sent you a 4-3-2-1 formation and why it's good.
And if you look at the way I described the 4-3-2-1 to the way you described it,
I know.
I was right.
Yeah.
Well,
So while you can have your 4-3-2-1, yeah, your two players behind the one striker ain't your wide men,
Yeah,
Sean.
well, I didn't know that at the time, but I do now.
Right, well there you go. So and if you look at your three, yeah, having Souček, Rice and Fornals wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
That's
either.
why don't ask me footballing questions. Ask me finance questions.
No, I just love it when you send a text because you think you're proving
Trying
me
to
wrong.
prove his point,
yeah.
You prove me right.
He couldn't even bother to look.
Yeah.
He just saw that.
No, he
What
just
a
see
good
that.
formation. You have some of that, fault.
Oh dear, oh dear. Next up, we got Adam Cisniak. This is a fantastic name. Probably Polish of origin, Adam, I'm guessing. Evening, gents. Moyes has proved at Everton that he's a slow start or two in him, but they always recovered. And there's the key point. He says it may have been done already. I don't think it has. He went, but do you all think, is it just Moyes taking time to make the team gel? Or is he trying the same thing, but expecting a different result? So, is he hoping it to gel? Or is he trying the same thing, but expecting something different?
Former. I hope he's opening it to gel. And I like to believe, because I want to trust in him. I want to believe in him. I believe he just needs to get the transition period starting. And a bit like, and I know I always go back to this analogy, you know, when Spurs sold Gareth Bale and they bought in all those players, it took a while. It was a disaster. But do you know what? You've agreed with me in the past on this, Nigel. And if you remember before the summer, what did you say when we said we need to bring in 8 players? And what did you say to us on this podcast?
Evolution, not revolution.
Yeah. It's a lot of players to try and fit in. So all these people going, put all the new players in. No.
I understand that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what Nigel says. David Moyes said, "I'll only buy a player that goes straight into the team."
Yeah.
Well, he didn't actually. He didn't. What he actually said, you're paraphrasing, is, "I will only want players that can bring quality and that are better than what we've got."
Right,
he doesn't
same thing.
Well, it's not the same thing.
Well, we're going back to your question. Then he can't think it's just right his best team, can it?
Well, it takes time to bring people on. You know, we know he used.
It don't take any more time.
Sparingly.
It doesn't take any more time to know that Souček's role is superfluous now, and Fornals isn't a left wing back.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter if Fornals gets his form back now, because it's been worked out.
Yeah.
So that needs
all right, let's not argue. Let's be friends, Len.
I'm friends with you, Shawnee.
Yeah.
I'm
You're
frustrated.
one of the few West Ham friends I have got left.
Yeah, I'm frustrated, and it's going. Do you know what else is frustrating? I didn't do any painting today. The day just goes to shit if I don't do.
Just by the way, loved your painting of the Queen. Really
Thank you, mate.
It really touched me.
It's on eBay.
Is it?
Yeah.
How much is it going for?
That looked good in Whetstone Towers.
Well, it would actually.
120 quid.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I might have a little bid on that. And how about the Prince Charles one? Sorry, King Charles III. Sorry, apologies.
Just been sold. Been collected.
Is it? Who bought that?
The weekend. A new collector.
Right. How about the Queen with Bobby Moore?
Yeah, that's sold. Good price for that.
See, I love that one as well. I'd have loved that.
How about Bailey the dog?
Bailey the dog.
Hey.
Bailey the dog. Come on, who's Bailey the dog? Rings a bell. Oh, I know. I didn't know his name was Bailey.
Oh, right. Sorry.
So it was a boy, was it?
No, it's a girl.
Oh, well, Bailey a girl's name?
Yeah.
Anyway,
you're a
sorry.
sweet dog,
We
that
we,
was.
That
we
was a
digress
great
onto
painting.
paintings again.
Oh, have you seen it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I sent you
lovely.
a picture of it. Yeah.
But just to say, I loved your royal themed.
Yeah, my royal trilogy.
I
Do-
do. You know,
If you
Thank
ever
you.
wonder where you need to go next, Jay,
Yeah.
I'm thinking Banksy.
oh,
I'm thinking
What
a
about him?
mural.
start doing
me
it,
doing mural
Yeah.
around Stratford.
Well, just just don't just find a bit of wall and put a Len up.
Eleni. Oh no, that got us in trouble last time. The Lennies.
Eh? Yeah, but that's in a wall. Just somewhere random.
Yeah.
I can tell
could
you a
do.
couple of spots, but we'll talk that off
You-
air.
you kn-
I
know-
haven't never done that though, so
No, it's it, but it's.
I don't
but
think
you
I'd
like
struggle with my own logo
different
though with a
things.
proper
You
lens.
like doing different things, don't you? Perhaps you could
Yeah.
start with a picture of Len.
You know they say that men can't multitask.
Yeah.
Well, I've just published the first, even though we haven't stopped recording. I've just published the first
Oh,
episode 9.
well done, you.
Well, I've been
What
recording.
do you want
There
a
you go.
fucking medal?
Well
Oh,
done,
yeah.
Sean.
Dear, oh dear.
It's all part. It's just getting the content out there.
There you go. Yeah, well
Anyway,
done.
move on to the next question.
Moving on. We got a new commenter. I love it.
Wow,
Good.
who is
Here
it?
we go. His name's James Diver, and henceforth, James, you will be known as Muff.
I was going to say Muff.
Does that mean? Does that mean we're officially up to 10?
I don't know, but I do enjoy having someone new to give a nickname to.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know Chris Saville. Did you notice I went for Rowe because I could have gone somewhere else, but we didn't want to go there anyway. Next up, Muff says, "Good evening, gents. I've been loving the show. Not sure now. I hope this goes down well. Well, goes down well, people. Oh, the jokes are coming." Muff says, "I've been loving the show for a while now and decided it's time to finally pop my cherry. You may have already covered this already, but it's safe to say opposition teams have figured out and Moyes needs to switch it up."
Yeah.
Now, he says, personally, he would drop Souček in favour of playing 2 attacking midfielders. I like your tactics.
Yeah.
Drop 1, pick 2, see if they notice. He'd go for Paqueta or Paquetá, whatever way, and Ben Rama. And he'd bring Cornet, so he's gone for 3. He'd bring Cornet on the left wing as opposed to Fornals. Now his question is, if you're in charge of West Ham selection, how are you switching it up? It's a bit like the formation, but let's put some meat on the bones then.
All
Loves
right.
the podcast.
Yeah.
Says, Muff Diver, Brady out.
Brady out.
It's a good question.
That is a
Really
good
good
question.
question. Because we all think we're experts.
Yeah,
And, you know,
we're not.
what changes would you make?
Okay.
How would you switch
All right,
it up?
let's say.
I'm sure we've all got our views.
Right.
Well, we know not to ask you, Sean, 'cause you know.
Well, no,
fuck all.
I have got a view on this one.
Oh,
but
go on
come-
then.
Oh, you want to go to me first? Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
sort
I'd
of you.
certainly put Areola in goal.
Right. What formation you playing first?
I'm
You know,
4-3-2.
you
I'm a 4-3-2.
your bonsai tree formation.
Yeah. I'm putting Areola in goal
Why?
because I think he's a better keeper than Fabianski.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'm going to put in Kira and Dawson
As your middle 2.
in middle 2. Yeah, I'm
Centre
dropping
halves.
Zuma.
Yep. Okay.
Assuming Ben Johnson's fit, I've got Ben Johnson on
Yep.
the right.
Yeah.
I think Moyes might do that. To be fair.
Um,
On the left.
I've
Nothing wrong with Creswell.
well, I don't know. There isn't any choice. I probably would have to leave Cresswell there, but I
You've
didn't.
got Emerson.
Yeah, you're right. Can he play in that left back role?
Depends who you ask.
All right, yeah, let's put Emerson left back. I'm obviously can't drop Rice. Rice is there in front. I'm dropping Souček and I'm putting in Downs. Give him a little bit of a run. Right. Oh, I've got to do a 3, haven't I? Shit. Do I have to do a 3?
You can put 4 nails in there, can't you?
I'm changing the formation. We just said the, I'm sticking with. I'm changing the formation, by the way.
Okay,
I'm sticking with Bowen.
right.
I'm sticking with Paquetá. I'm going with Lanzini over Fornals,
Right,
and I'm
so
going with Scamacca.
right, okay. Thank fuck you. I'm picking the team. It's about as disjointed as it can get. I won't even bother tearing it apart. Go on, Jay. Lynn, sorry.
I'll take if I went to a 4-5-1,
Yep.
I would from the front.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have probably Antonio up front. To be fair,
Yep.
in that formation, behind him I'd have Paquetá.
Mm-hmm.
The four behind them I'd have Fornals and Rice.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have Cornet on the left. Would I drop Bowen? I think Bowen might thrive in that formation. I'll give him a chance on the right. Yeah, any back four will be probably. I'll probably keep Creswell there. I think he'd be okay in that position. On the right hand, actually, I'd probably give the same back four as Sean, but I'd probably keep Creswell in there for the moment. And if I wanted to change it up more attacking, I'd change the left back to the Italian Brazilian guy. His name, I'm not very good with names. I'm sorry. And then if I wanted to change it up in midfield for more attacking, I'll take Fornals out and substitute him with Benrahma.
All right.
Anything like yours or
Or the front definitely is.
the front bit?
So I'm definitely going, Antonio Paquetá. And I'd probably go Cornet on the left as well. And then I would have Rice in the middle with Downs.
I like Downs.
I would
but
play Rice and Downs together, and then on the right, I might go strangely. I might put Fornals there. I'm not sure about Bowen.
Really on the right.
Yeah,
I like playing centre.
yeah.
I'll see what he can do in centre. Give him a little run in the centre.
I want someone. Yeah, he's saying that Fornals. I don't really rate his crossing. This is the thing. With Antonio up front, I want people to put the ball into him. So actually, with Antonio up front, I'm going to change it. Not going to have Cornet. Actually, I am going to have Fornals on the left, not Cornet.
Are you really?
Yeah. I'll tell you what. If
see the
if I was
crossing
playing
ability there?
Scamacca, I'd have Cornet. Yeah. So for me, if Scamacca's starting or playing, I'm bringing Cornet on as well. So if they're both subs, they both come on together.
Right. Because you could playing 5 subs, you could change a 4-4-2 up or 4-5-1 up a lot now, can't you?
You could. And then that does keep a Bowen on the right while Antonio's there. I'd probably think about that. I'd probably want a right-footed midfielder on the right if I was bringing Scamacca on. So I've sort of got. It's dependent. I think with Antonio, you need to feed the ball into him rather than cross the ball into him. I think Scamacca, looks better. Yeah, he's better. Wants the ball more, sort of, for him to run onto it. Colton Cole's best football was when the ball was played in front of him and he ran onto it. It sort of fell apart a bit, which was how he played. And I see Colton Cole and Scamacca sort of very similar in a way. They are a big lump, but they prefer to run onto the ball and strike the ball running onto it rather than with their back to goal. So at the back, I would be playing Creswell because I think he can with the protection in front of him. I would be playing Kera, but I'd be playing Zuma, and then on the right I'd be playing Johnson, but I'd have Fabianski in. I don't think Fabianski's done anything wrong.
No, I don't.
Goalkeepers Union.
Well, whatever. People can always throw that at me, but that's where I would be with that. But anyway, Muff, great question. We get a like for that.
Great debut question.
And
Muff.
yeah, and we'll hopefully more from you next week. Unless, of course, we really upset you and you never come back again. That wouldn't be the first time for me on this show, people, believe it or not. It's your mate next up, Sean.
Who is it? Gary Prince.
Evening, gents. Hope all is well. He said, can you check? I'm sure Sean's will tell you. What's been our worst points tally after 7 matches in the Premier League, and where did we finish that season? I've got a sneaky feeling. Actually, I'll tell you what, I think it was under Pellegrini.
I think you're right.
I think we lost all 4 games.
Yeah, you're right.
And we finished 11th that season.
Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't bad. I didn't even look that up. So all is not lost. Also, any news on Anderlecht away tickets, and what's the chance of Sean getting lucky in the ballot for that one? No news yet, I believe. Is
No
there,
news.
No.
How many tickets are there for Anderlecht? I forget how big the ground is.
They play in a smaller ground now than what they do. I think it only
Look,
holds about 25,000.
I'm not going to Belgium, whether I'm lucky in the ballot or not. My luck in the ballot has run out, I think. Although I am in the ballot for Southampton.
Shouldn't keep upsetting them.
Are you going to Southampton?
I don't know. So, because I got asked and I said,
Well, you
yeah.
can't. You must know because the ticket's already been sold. So you would have bought one. So you wouldn't buy one on the black market. So you would know if you had a ticket or not.
Well,
Nigel.
no, because obviously I didn't get one. You know. But
He's squirming. He's squirming.
No, I'm not squirming. I've been asked if someone's got, will you go? And I'm like, yeah. It's a legitimate, ticket.
Yeah.
You know, that won't be in my name. So,
Right.
nose ointment.
Ben banning letter for Nigel Khan.
Fucking prove it. Next up is the dearly beloved Jonathan Lowe, my good friend.
Oh, Jonathan.
He says, I hope you're all okay. What a tremendous memorial yesterday's events were for her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth. May she rest in peace and rise in glory.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And a couple of things for you, chaps.
Yeah.
First, let's stop all the noise out, Shats.
Yeah, too right.
Let's act like proper West Ham fans.
Grown ups.
Shall we? I think we shall, John.
Yeah.
I do wish, though, we could see Antonio and Skamaka playing together. He thinks it would be quite exciting. What do you think?
Oh, well, it's a really interesting one because I
Is
did a
it?
story about this on 6'2". I hope you read it. Did you?
Yeah.
What was it
No,
about?
I didn't.
Why Moyes won't play 2 up front?
It's because he don't want to risk getting injuries if they're both on the pitch at the same time.
No, it's not actually. So he did an interview about this, and he was asked after the Everton game. He says, "Isn't it interesting where results don't go our way?" And I'm asked the same question: "Why don't you play 2 up front?" He says, "In the modern game, it's very hard to play 2 up front. Right? It's not a modern tactic." Then he goes on to contradict himself. He said, "But there will come a time where it will happen."
Do you know
Can I
Go on. Yeah, you can.
can I run through a couple of front 2 partnerships that have done well in recent times?
Yeah.
Kane and Son.
Yeah.
Though
Though
at
people
Liverpool,
may
you
argue
had-
they play in a 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't say Kane and Son are a 2. Although I'm really glad I put him in my fantasy league last weekend. He got a hat-trick coming off the bench.
Well,
I
who's
shouldn't
the
say
third
that,
one of the
should I?
three then?
I can't
Tottenham.
believe I've just admitted live on air that
Kulusevski
I've got
or
a
Richarlison.
Spurs player in my fantasy league. For 1 week only.
Well, what about the Liverpool when it was Kane and the diver?
Salah with Firmino.
That too.
Though
That
they
three.
played
McAvenny and Cotty, recent one.
No, Toshak and Keegan. I watched Tosh
Cross
last
and
night.
pop.
Uh,
I did as well. That's strange.
yeah, yeah. We'll talk about that later then.
Yeah, right. When he's had enough and
Yeah.
starts going down the fridge.
Yeah. So I don't think. I don't know. I don't think. Actually, I don't think Skamaka and Antonio. We're just looking at it because they're strikers.
Yeah.
I
Well, they're
don't
not
see-
really.
No.
Yeah.
One's a striker, the other one's not a striker. He was a right back who then become a midfielder who now becomes a striker.
Len,
Yes.
the wall paintings are magnificent. Continues John.
Thank you, Jonathan.
And he says, any chance of some prints for those of us who can't afford the originals? Any prints of the Queen
It's
and
on
the
my
King?
to-do list.
Oh,
On my
there you
to-do list. It may not be prints, but there'll be more affordable options. But it is on my to-do list. What a day I've had, though, Jonathan. You know, I will get on it. I promise you.
Okay. He's got a question for me. Nigel, now that we don't have many Saturday 3 p.m. games, now that we don't have many, John, we ain't had one since August last year at home. He says, how about a ticket exchange section on 6'2" so we can find other real supporters to use our tickets? Well, that goes against the terms and conditions, says Sean, of the use, and can find you getting a free match ban from the stadium, as we discussed last week on the show.
Yeah.
So, plus, it's hard enough on that website as it is without throwing in tickets. So, I've got a good feeling it might calm down. Sean.
Yes.
Says Jonathan.
Yeah.
Now the weather's turned colder, can we have an update on your work footwear?
Well, I've not been in lately because.
Oh, you've been off, Sean, again?
Well, as you know, I was off at Goodwood, and I'm working from home this week because I'm looking after the dog. I'm working from home. And
Oh, what part of home does like Dubrovnik come into?
well, I am off to Croatia. Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's a little bit warmer there, so I am off to Split in Croatia on Thursday morning.
Yes.
Yes.
There you
And it's a little, so I will be taking my
another holiday. After all, people, we did go back to work for at least 3 days after his 6 week sabbatical.
I am taking my Birkenstocks, my brown pair and my grey pair to Split with me.
And I'd like to thank Jonathan for the wonderful picture.
Yes. Yes, thanks for that.
Of Sean as the Hobbit.
Yeah.
Very good. Very classy. Blessings, finishes Jonathan. Next up, it's the soul singing superstar off Tenerife, the award-winning Michael Levy Jr., who normally doesn't have a question, but he says, hi, gents. As well as the form, the team's spirit seems to have gone. Is there a divide in the camp? Young players wanting to leave? Unharmonious integration of the new signings? Antonio taking out Paquetá in the warm-up, nearly injuring him? Antonio and Skamaka not even looking at each other when being subbed? Ooh, didn't spot that, Mike.
He looked hard.
I didn't see that.
What
no.
on earth is going on? Do you know? This is really for you, Sean. 'Cause
Yeah.
Don't give a fuck. Do you know of any unrest?
Do you know what? It's a question a lot of people have asked me, and and it's a question I asked you earlier, which is a lot of people are asking me: has he lost the dressing room? Is there unrest? Are the new people unhappy? And the answer is, I haven't heard anything, and I have asked around. I don't think he's lost the dressing room. I don't think. I think the new, like any new recruits, they've got to gel in, and usually, and look, I know you know this happens at any Premier League club. You've got little cliques, right? You've got your English clique, right? Or the people who've been there a long time, and then the foreign players tend to, the Spanish speaking tend to club together and etc. And I think you've got that at West Ham. Go back to the Pearson and Noble, is people like Paquetá and Emerson gelling with the rest of the team? I don't know. Does it matter? They're all professionals as long as they do their
I think
training.
it does matter because
Does it? Do they have to have a laugh? Do they have to have
No. But disharmony in the camp.
I don't know if
Listen,
it's disharmony. I think
you can
individuals.
get away with having the likes of Sheringham and Andy Cole, but they were professionals on the
Right.
pitch. But sometimes in lesser teams, that is known to cause a problem. So,
Right,
yes.
so you've opened a can of worms there, which is, I think, the problem Moyes has. Moyes likes to have a small squad to avoid disappointment, right?
Yeah.
So the problem is the kind of people that we attract want to play, right? If you're playing Man City, you don't care so much about the rotation system, you accept it.
Yeah.
But if you come to West Ham, you've sort of done us a favour, someone like Paquetá coming.
Yeah.
And isn't it interesting where Paquetá is almost undroppable because we've paid so much money for him? And here's your problem, right? I think there's a lot of big egos. Benrahma always looks frustrated when he's taken off. And a lot of them have pull faces because I think they think they're all big enough to be starters. And there lies a problem, you know. We're in Europe now. We're playing on a Thursday, on a Sunday, and we have to rotate the squad. You know, you can't keep everyone happy. But they should be professional about it. Do you not agree?
I definitely agree in the professional bit, yeah. I do. I think that is the most important thing.
You know, we don't
gotta
want
be
big-time
professional.
Charlies that are going to sulk when they're taken off on
No,
60 or
definitely
70 minutes or that they're going to have to wait their chance, you know?
Yeah.
It's a squad game. Take one
Okay.
for the team.
Right. Martin Rose Sports is next up. Evening all. Good side. Would have won on Sunday. Interesting article, he says, on another website regarding young players leaving. I can't really say Martin because it could involve a legal dispute, what that website is. But regarding young players leaving Ngakia, Sonny Perkins and Aaron Ashby wanting to leave. Why do you think it's happening? And is Moyes to blame?
We talked about this earlier, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I think we covered it. Look,
Did you read that
agents.
article on that other website?
Yeah, I did.
I can't read name for legal reasons.
Clarence Hugh.
No.
No, we are. No, look, I name checked them earlier. Right? There's no love. There's, you know, we're friends, right? We are.
There's no love lost.
No, this is brilliant.
They realised they meant the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Did I just say that out loud?
Look. I respect them, and when they've got an exclusive, I'll name check them, link them, as I did today with the vote of confidence,
That's
right?
very cool. It's
So let's
reversing.
not skirt around it and say, right, Hughie's a good guy. They're good at what they do, and no, I won't say anything bad against them.
Talk you will. Anyway, why do we think it's happening and is Moyes to blame?
No, agents is blame.
Okay. All right. I think that young players want to see a gateway into the first team.
Yeah.
And if that gateway's not there, agents will say, well, we can get you somewhere
course
else
they
where
will.
you can.
Yeah.
So I actually think it's a bit of both because Moyes had ample opportunity to play more youngsters last season. And you can say, well, I blooded all these players. When you played 6 of them in one game, that don't count.
Well, you know what? Look at Ben Johnson, right? A bloke who's getting
Yeah.
all the games,
I get that.
and he doesn't want to sign a new contract. So I still say it's agent and money.
You know, yeah, well, anyway. Okay. Clark, oi! Which is actually his name, Hoy, says nowhere near time for Moyes out. Do we just need to trust that he's improved the squad and the manager of his experience calibre knows what he's doing, unlike all the armchair managers? Brady out.
Brady out.
I'm with you all the way, Clark. Do we need to trust that he's improved the squad? I don't know
No.
about if we have to trust. I don't. That's the only bit.
In Moyes,
Clark.
we trust.
Yeah. Do we need to just trust that he's improved the squad? We have to hope that he's improved it.
My only concern, and I don't know if this is a manager failing or not.
Yep.
I got told, right, by an agent, right? So let's be a bit careful.
Was it a Danish agent?
It wasn't a Danish agent.
It wasn't Silky
Sure, wait. That Skamaka was, and this same agent said it wouldn't go well for Allaire. Now, did he get lucky on this or not?
Well, Tony and George's calf said the same. So to be fair, yeah.
And he doesn't think
there's a few
Skamaka
there
will.
that can judge a player.
He doesn't think Skamaka will make it. Now he's got a slightly different view of Bakatar, but there is murmurings, and I saw something on TalkSport, which is there are concerns.
Who helped sign Bakatar for West Ham?
That Bakatar and Skamaka, the jury's out on them. Will they adapt to the Premier League?
Tweeted a picture.
Shush, move on. We don't talk how sausages are made.
All right. So there's no correlation there at all, is there, Sean?
No.
We will move on to my good friend and pen pal, Mr. Edward Sexton, Dave's son.
Hey.
Evening, gents, he says. Nigel, I did, Ted, didn't I? Challenged me to come up with a question which would stop Sean talking. Here goes.
Hey.
Nigel, if it was feasible, which hopefully it will be soon, to do a live chat show from the shed, who would be the first 3 guests? This is a ponderous, and I think when I do the first one, I've got to be loyal to my long-suffering fellow podcasters. So it would be Len, George, and John.
The other 2 wouldn't turn up. You'd be just
Even
doing
better.
Len.
Oh, dear.
You're funny.
Yeah, thank you. Len, he says, who would be the 3 people who you would like to sit for you to portrait?
Nigel, George, and John. No.
The other 2 wouldn't turn up.
I don't know really. I don't do live sittings, so 3 people would like to sort of keep still and shut up. So
do you do nudes?
well, I could do. I suppose I could paint anything. Well, you don't want me to do one of you, do you?
No, thanks. No.
Fucking hell, it'd be the Michelin man.
I'll tell you.
Oh, dear. Anyway, Ted says then the Queen portraits are superb. And he apologised to
Ted.
John and Geordie. They are on the pod, but they're not, Ted.
They're not.
But anyway, thanks for the apology.
Ted, it's on eBay. It's currently £122, I think.
Yeah.
Let me just have a look.
Super Chrissy Mills is up. Hello, gents, he says. Do you think there's too much pressure on Declan Rice being only 23 and having to pick up everything Noble did at the club?
Did he sweep the floor as well and pick up the rubbish?
Well, we don't know that. We ain't seen the pictures, have we?
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to ask that question. That could be a story.
you could do, yeah.
Because we don't do enough stories on 6'2" at the moment.
You say that.
Well, I think we've only done about 15 today.
Well, yeah. You know, I gave you a free rein.
Your mistake.
There's my punishment.
Len told you this would happen. He told you how
didn't
relentless I was.
I didn't think you'd be that prevalent, I must admit, if we
You
do
didn't?
it on air. No, I didn't. I don't know why.
Len, what did you say straight away?
I said he'll outwork you.
No, I did. That wasn't
He'll
a problem.
massively outwork you.
That weren't the problem.
No, that's not the problem.
I just never knew it would be that many.
Oh, I did.
I thought 5.
Fucking relentless.
I am
Don't
relentless.
stop.
So anyway,
And I've got little minions working for me now.
Oh,
And they
dear.
Have
sometimes
ya?
don't even
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
fucking hell, yeah.
You know, got little people
Who are
doing my
they?
bidding. Oh,
Oh.
Dodsy's one of my minions. Stell's
Oh,
another
imagine
minion now.
working-
Stell's
Oh,
a
I'm losing
reporter.
respect. Imagine working beneath you.
Stell's writing copy now. He's a fully fledged journalist now. He's writing copy every day.
Fucking
Wow.
Got Nick.
Yeah.
Got Nick to write a story today.
Nick Killington.
yeah.
Yeah,
Done
yeah.
it. He had, to be fair, right? Nick should write more.
He should. He should. And I said to him, he wrote something on. I said, that's wasted on WhatsApp with only 4 of us reading it.
Because
I
he's a
said-
lot more saner when he
and he
writes
said-
an article than
and
he
I
is when
said-
he chats it.
I said, I
It's a lot
want
more
that.
calmer.
I want that as a story. He went, what? Based on what I've just written above? I said, yeah. 150 words minimum. Bosh. He went, just changing my flat tire. Bosh. There you go. Article up. Nice picture of Nick on 6'2", and you know, he's the latest opinion blogger on 6'2" now.
Let's have a look at it.
Why are you doing that? Anyone think Noble should be offered a role ASAP just to get him back in the dressing room? Chrissy thinks we should
What on
try
earth?
anything as we are utter dog shit at the moment.
He's enjoying himself
What on
in
earth?
Formula One and on the golf, and you know, he's loving it, isn't he? No, he don't want to come out of retirement. Why
No,
wouldn't
but if well, I'll tell you why. Because if, and this is the thing, yeah, if he can see the club in distress, being the
maybe.
Mr. West
Oh,
Ham,
he'd love that, wouldn't he?
that he
Being asked
is.
back to save the club, save our season.
anyone would. And to
Yeah.
be fair, if I thought it would make a difference, I would be right there asking him as well.
Yeah.
I actually think that next season he'll be back with us. I think he wants a year off.
Yeah.
And I
agree.
think the club have probably settled and said, Mark Noble cannot go and work for any other club. So if he wants to be in football, I think it's us.
Did you read
You
it now?
spelled Nick's name wrong.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. The first fucking line.
I googled
And that's
it.
not a nice fucking image
I
of
know-
him
What do you mean
either.
he Googled it? It's
awful.
in the bloody WhatsApp chat.
No, it's not. His name's not on there because I didn't have his name in. So when he joined it, I didn't have his
You
phone
can't
number.
call him
It
Nick
just says Nick.
Killington. You make him sound
Is that what
like
you
a
thought?
psychopath.
I should have fucking
Yeah.
read it.
There's no spaces either. It's a massive lump of
I just
words. I
cut and
can't read
paste.
that.
I just cut and pasted it from the WhatsApp.
You
group.
lazy
Yeah, where
sod.
me, yeah, I will
You didn't
take the
even
time,
read it.
put it through Grammarly. Sorry, Dodds,
Oh
but
no,
I'll
that
do it.
has come through Grammarly. That
Yeah,
one.
well, and then I sort of,
I thought it had been
Type up
formatted.
in.
Let me
hold up quickly. This is like a race. Oh
Nick's view.
yeah, there we go.
Well,
Opinion.
how's his name
Killington.
spelled then? Don. Is it not Killington?
Killington, the same as
There you
Gary
go.
Killington that you spelt right on the site.
Oh well.
I got there quicker than him. Don't worry, people.
What, you've screenshotted it?
Screenshotted it. Here we go. Where do we put that? Oh, people, we have to put it in the WhatsApp group.
Oh, here we go.
Oh. This is all live. I'm doing it live. Might as well do it now. Stick it in there. Open. Nick is now the Don. Nick will love this.
Really?
Yeah, here you go. Nick is now the Don. Killing Don. That sounds like a film.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Killing Don.
it's on the site with his name spelt correctly now, and it is Nick's view. A situation of our own making. His title, by the way, as well.
Yep. Well done.
It's 946 words, which is a bit long for one of.
No, it ain't. That's proper. It's proper.
Anyway,
Oh, Sean,
it's,
any update on Delaware North beer prices?
well, funny you should say that, because it's all gone quiet, and
That's that legal action going by the club.
well, so
Yeah.
I put in a freedom of information, and they've rejected it under commercial interests, which is interesting because I asked them 2 questions. I said, one, how do you conform to the clause comparable, and what is the data you rely on? You know, how have you compared it, and what's your evidence? And they've said commercial interest. What it's not, and they're just stalling because if not, I'll go to the ICO and just say, well, actually, you're wrong. You can't claim commercial interest. This is not a commercial interest. This is you obeying or conforming to a clause in the contract of you monitoring prices in other clubs. So they're stalling. Whether there's legal interest or not, all I will say is Dodsey, who's one of my minions, took a picture of the price at Chelsea, and I've shared that with the club. So I sent that to Karen Brady, and I sent that to Ben Illingsworth, and I sent that to Nathan. I forget the commercial guy, and Tara Warren. So they never answered. They never said thank you. But obviously, I'm going to get Dodsey to do that at Spurs and at Arsenal, if he doesn't forget like he did at Everton. And I'm hoping that will that be evidence for the legal case. There you go.
1, 2, 3, back in the room.
Yeah, sorry. So no,
sorry.
I don't know anything. By the way, when you get into question time, I've just received an email from San Howard, who's got a question for us all at
Right,
Manscaped.
okay. Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Next up, the answer's no.
No, it's a good question.
All right.
How many listeners have you got? It's great.
Okay.
I'm going to go back and go 8.
No, 9. Sorry.
Yeah.
Muff joined this week.
Demographics, gender and location.
we've lost a
East
few.
London, 46 grumpy.
Yeah. Belinda. No, what about Belinda? Eh?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
See, when we're doing our demographic, Belinda, well, she's East London.
Yeah.
Belinda Kaikaitis, the Greek goddess from Forest Gate. Evening peeps. Only one question. How much currency does Moisey have in the bank before the chorus of Moyes out gets louder? Why spend close to 200 million and play the same team as last season? She loves the pod. 4 kisses, 2 to
Thank
me,
you,
1 to the
Belinda.
each of yous.
That's fair. I don't mind.
Yeah.
For the who?
So 4 kisses. So I said 1, 2 to me, 1 to each of you.
Oh, each of you. Right, sorry. Sometimes you speak in a different language.
But yeah, well. Why indeed, Bell? Why? Only Moyes knows. I think he's trying to bed in the new players, personally. I think he didn't want to rush them in. He wanted to be a bit loyal to the players that have got us 6th and 7th and a semi-final of the UEFA Cup, while apparently playing really shit football last season, if you listen to the fan base. But hey, that's just my opinion. Next up, it's old Ding-a-ling. Evening, gents, says Stewie. Looking forward to this week's instalment. It's a double bubble. Well, I don't know. This is going to be a long one on its own. Brady out!
Brady out.
Thank you. Oh, Chrissy Mills also said, Brady out!
Brady out.
Thank you. I didn't want to miss one.
We're 2.5 hours recording. I know obviously we split it into 2 episodes.
Yes.
But
What have you all made of the West Ham online reactions since our defeat on Sunday? Bonkers, Stu.
Predictable.
He says, I'm yet to find a single YouTube channel or Facebook Twitter platform that isn't staunch Moyes out. 6'2" isn't, Stu.
No, we're not.
Do they speak for us all? No, they speak for themselves. I find it a bit frustrating, to be honest. I'll tell you what it is, though. I'll tell you what... No, fuck off. I'll tell you what it is, though, Stu. If you sit there and speak reasonable, people will agree with you. People won't watch you. If you sit there and go, wow, Brady, get Moyes out. This man's a fucking idiot. What does he know? And everything. Other fans will watch you just to laugh.
Yeah. Jazz.
But you'll get the ratings. The thing about YouTube is it's all about the ratings, Stu. It's all about the hits. You get to a certain level. It's the content.
Jocks.
What you're actually saying is secondary. The more bonkers you are, the better it is.
Well, who did we used to love watching?
What, that nutcase, the ginger one, yeah.
What was his name?
I can't remember. Whatever happened to him? Claret and so I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember. I used to take the piss out of him.
You had a picture of him in
Hammer and
Tong. No,
Hammer and Talk, was it? Something like that.
It could have been.
But
he was the bloke that broke into the bowling ground and put a high on. Yeah. Yeah.
Brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fantastic. I'm going to a secret
you
location. I could see he was driving down a fucking Barking Road by the buildings running along down.
Do you know what? I'm going to ask you one last time. I know you said no before. I really wish you'd bring back your little comedy sketches.
Yeah. One day. Maybe.
Go on. What was it called?
Mock the West Ham week.
Mock the West Ham week.
Do you know, the mad thing is, I do regret it actually, because I actually deleted a load of them. So
Did you?
a couple still exist.
You know,
But-
when you had him as a fruit machine, didn't you? Or was that
No,
you?
that
That
was
was
Jay.
me.
That was
It
me.
Jay.
He liked that. See, you've given up doing your, because now you're a filmmaker. You know, you've given
Yeah.
up doing your little
I do often think of like doing
David
stuff,
Golden
but-
musical, and you know,
They
Yeah,
were good though, weren't they?
yeah,
Yeah, but you got your
But,
big thing
you've got
coming,
nothing.
haven't we?
But he's commercial now. He got
Yeah.
nothing out of that.
Yeah, but let him get this out of the way. We've got the big filming coming up at the end.
yeah,
In a couple of weeks. I'm looking forward to that.
yeah. Thanks, mate.
No,
Well,
I am.
I found.
At the
I've
Rust
got.
Club.
I've got Mock the World. I found it.
As I said, there's still a couple there.
Episode 1. I've got.
Yeah, I think episode 1 and 2. I think I kept there was a couple that upset the people because it was never meant to be personal, and people took it personally. And then it was a bit like, oh, well,
They're like that.
yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
get
put
it,
some,
but I suppose the people I was targeting were always going to take it personally, wouldn't they?
Yeah, yeah.
Where if people take the piss out of me, I find it quite funny and quite enjoy it, and maybe give them a few tips on how to really take the piss out of me.
Yeah.
Because it literally, when people take the piss out of me, I do find it genuinely funny. You all know that. So when people take themselves seriously, and you think, oh, it ain't why I did it. It was just supposed to be a bit of fun. So, hey ho, I don't know. I don't know. The theory behind it was perhaps funny, perhaps in practice.
There we go.
I don't know.
That guy's on episode 1.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to take a picture of him right
Yeah.
now and put it in our WhatsApp
Whatever.
group.
The mad thing is, he appeared. He was barking mad. He was the first one to really rant and rave about West Ham, and then disappeared. But I think he couldn't take the stick because
Yeah.
for every person that likes you, there'll be people that hate you, and it's it's how you deal with it. I had an email the other day from someone who slagged off some of the content on 6'2".
Any of my content?
No, while liking me.
Oh, right.
And I had to point out to him that it's about being a broad church. That even though I don't agree with what other people were saying, I will still publish it on the site because it's not when you have a fanzine.
Hammers and
it's
Talk,
about,
it was. You're
yeah,
right.
Hammers and Talk,
Hammers
yeah.
and Talk.
It's about having
Hammer and
everything
Talk.
different. Yeah. So he was he was
He was
barking.
funny, wasn't
He was funny. He was funny though, wasn't he? Actually,
He
It was funny. There's nothing wrong with being funny.
In a way that we all laughed at him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Was he a comedy genius, or did he realise we were all laughing at him?
I don't know. It just he even went on other mainstream shows. This was the thing I don't get, and then just.
Yeah. He
I
disappeared.
yeah, but sometimes though, if you can't
Oh,
deal
do you know
with
what?
the
He
people
still
coming
exists.
at you, does he? But
Yeah,
if you
he's
can't,
got 10,000 subscribers.
yeah, but does he put videos up?
Let's have a look. I'm just
I
going.
don't think he does because if
Oh no, this channel has no videos. He's deleted them all.
yeah, and the thing is,
10.4 thousand. Yeah, Stell and
Yeah.
West Ham Voice and would kill for 10,000 subscribers,
Yeah.
wouldn't they? And so
Yeah.
would Clarence Booze.
I know a few that'll stab you in the back for them.
yeah. So
But
it's-
kill it.
Actually, he's got two other channels. Let's have a look. Hammer and Talk 2. Has it got any videos? Oh yeah, it's got lots of videos, but they haven't been updated for 4 years.
yeah.
And he's got a gaming one as well.
I think his name was Jay.
I think you're
I
right.
think it was as well.
So Jay,
Do
if
you
out
know
there-
where
Yeah,
Jay
don't
from
have
Hammer
to
and
use it.
Talk
what
is?
happened to you? Come on.
Yeah,
We'll sit and
oh,
have a
one's-
chat. I just think that
Once he
some of the
died or
abuse got
something, how-
too. I think some of the abuse got really personal. And look, all jokes aside, we all know that it can get to you.
Yeah.
And it's got, and this, we do this for fun, and we have fun. And if it ain't fun, you know,
Yeah, because you give me quite a lot of abuse, and
yeah,
I don't take it seriously.
no, you give it back. I just laugh. You know?
Oh, his account is suspended on Twitter. We will find out. Do you know what happened to Hammer and Talk?
Yeah, there you go. There you
Anyway,
go.
come on. We need to move on. We're getting for 3
It
hours.
does, yeah. Do they speak? No, they don't, says Dinger. He said the people seem to be the most vocal are the ones that have hushed their gums whilst we were doing well, but have secretly be sharpening their claws in the
Yeah,
background,
agree
waiting for
with
any. Now, I'm not going to name the person, but someone did say this to me. You know, they don't like Moyes. Well, I don't
Never
like
have.
Allardyce.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I rightly pointed out was that's true, but I didn't like Allardyce from the day he was appointed.
Yeah, but
So
do you know what?
never results based.
Do you know what? I'll tell you something, and I know this for
Go
a
on.
fact. I'm not going to name people.
Yeah.
I know people that have never liked Moyes from the first time they
Yeah.
appointed him. They hated when he was appointed again. They have been vehemently against him and have bitten their tongues. Even when he's done good, they've still actually, to be fair to them, privately, don't like Moyes, don't like his tactics, don't like his football. I can't wait till he cocks up. And they're the people are coming out the woodwork now who've never liked him the first time, never wanted to point the second time, and think he's a dinosaur.
Well,
So there are people like you that, you know, in the same way you were about Allardyce.
yeah, but the thing is, I was vocal.
Yeah. But yeah, it's hang on. It's a bit hard to be vocal though when he's
Tell me about
he
it.
nearly got us in
I
Champions
did it though.
League.
You know, I was though. Yeah, listen.
I agree.
At some point, Allardyce had us sitting third in the table, Sean.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, but I still sat there and said the man was alien to the culture of this club. You know, all hail the Allardyce, hello, Allardyce at the
Yeah,
playoff
I remember
final,
singing it.
and I'm sitting there thinking the
Now-
man's a bit of a fraud, though, isn't he?
Just a little sense check. How many more questions got left? Because I've got to put my stepdaughter to
yeah,
bed.
not
I
many.
should never get to school in the morning. So
Oh,
I
right.
might let you get on with this question and just make sure she's in
No,
bed.
you don't go nowhere. Stay there.
All right.
Anyway, so he finishes. Sorry for the long one, but he's pissed off and disgruntled as the rest of us with results and performances. But he's more pissed off with some of the shite I see and read on YouTube and Facebook.
Yeah.
Ding her out. We're with you all the way, mate.
Dig her out.
But the only thing I will say is everyone's got an opinion and everyone's entitled to,
Yeah.
you know, and it's easy
All
for
about
us to point-
opinions. We
yeah.
always say that. It's all about opinions.
You know, it's true what they say.
And to be fair, and this goes out to all our listeners, right?
Yeah.
In the same way Nick, killing Don, wrote a story today with his opinion, we at 6'2" will have any opinion as long as you can write over 150 words. We'll take any opinion, whatever it is, pro Moyes, Moyes out, whatever it be, because it's all about opinions, and we want to create a community out there. So if you think you can write, or if you don't think you can write, we'll run it through Grammarly. Send it in to Nigel and myself, and we'll get you published. That was a party.
Well, do you know what? I'd say
broadcast.
these Moyes out.
Did
lot,
you
I
see that,
think-
Jay? Did you see what he did there?
What?
No, not really.
He went, we.
Oh,
He's taking over
Yeah,
already.
so that-
If it was
That's
a
what
reverse,
you
Oh, I
said.
know
he
that.
told you this is reverse takeover. He told you that.
how would you say reverse takeover?
Oh,
It's his.
oh dear. Good.
He's already done more than you.
Yeah,
You know, he's
yeah.
already invested.
Yeah, he can do what he likes. Dan Perry says a really poor performance. This is Beverly Hills 916420 says a really poor performance against Everton. Lots of people wanting Moyes out for having favourites and not playing enough of the new signings. But is it possible the new signings? No one ever thinks this, Dan. I'm with you. Not doing it in training, and perhaps that's why Moyes just not starting them. People call for Ben Rama, but how many times before we've seen him start and not play well? Is he better off as an impact player? With the amount of new additions to the squad, perhaps we should write off the first half of the season and expect better from the squad to gel after the World Cup. You get a like for that. I like that, Dan. Very good. Cheeky Lions. He's up next. Evening, gents, he says. And Sean. Hope you're all well. Cough up, Sean. After the events of the past week or so, football seemed irrelevant. Having said that, I'm glad it's all over and get back to normality. I'm with you there, Steve. West Ham certainly put the wheels in motion for more normality returning. The Everton game was piss poor. You'd have heard us say that in part one. With both teams not deserving a win, it had Everton win written all over it. I'd have been quite happy with a point from that, but now we're going into the national break. Whoop-a-dee-doo. Sean, any rumblings of the ball being unhappy with the start we made?
No, I mean, look.
Well, I'd like to think they're unhappy.
Well, they are unhappy, right?
Yeah.
They're unhappy on the results.
Yeah.
And they're unhappy that some players have not hit the ground running. But, you know, all about opinions. They're backing the manager. There is no chance at the moment of the manager.
The dreaded vote of confidence.
And we wrote about that today, and we
which, of course, they wouldn't have given him if someone hadn't have asked them.
well, that's the way always, isn't it?
Okay.
You could say that about everything. You know, they don't go.
I think I do.
No, it isn't. That's what journalists do, right? No, do you know what? If Moyes sits there, and this is why I asked the journalist to ask the question about Harrison Ashby, if no one ever asks anything about injury news, Moyes would literally say nothing, and the board would say, journalism is about asking the question, the right question, because Moyes doesn't like media in general. Did you see the bit where he goes, Moisey?
Yeah.
Fucking hell,
yeah.
he said.
Yeah,
We're not that
he can be a bit funny like that, and he like he did
can.
with that woman when he got the
So
slap.
we need to write a headline
yeah.
with Moisey.
Yeah.
What
I'm
he's
trying to
like.
work out who that journalist was. I didn't
Not really a
recognise the
people
voice.
person.
No.
This is what
Moisey?
I got told.
Well, it's like it's his pet, sex name or something.
Yeah.
Talking of that,
So if
right?
you see him in the street, just shout,
Talking
"Oh,
of
Moisey!"
On a late Saturday night, someone told me about, and look, I don't know if it's the right place to discuss this, but a certain royal member,
Of course it is.
a certain royal member,
Royal
and-
member? No, it's not the right place. Then.
and and a certain act of involving something you put clothes on a line on.
You cut out. What'd you say?
It's it's a certain royal member of the royal family who has a liking for something involved with what you put clothes on a line.
Oh.
Do you know this? I've been oblivious, and then my daughter goes, "Oh yeah, we know about the Prince of,
Yeah. Well. Yeah. When you peg out the line.
I didn't use that word. I didn't even know what it meant. There you go.
I don't understand. I don't know what it means.
Oh
Yeah,
dear.
don't
Anyway.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
Yeah, go Google
Don't-
pegging
No, don't Google that.
and
I was
clear your
shocked.
search history
I was shocked.
after you've done it.
Blasphemy, treason. I don't,
Oh, dear.
when I was
Yeah,
told,
that's a load of old crap. I'll
it's
tell
got
you.
to be.
Yeah,
It's
of
got
course
to
it
be.
is.
Anyway,
I can't imagine her putting that on. Anyway,
no Rose. Oh no, sorry, it's just rumour,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
Marion Williams says, sold my ticket for Newcastle to the club for 28 quid, and the club have now contacted me saying I can buy a ticket back for 45. Nice little earner there for the club. Do you think it's right to give 2 priority points for buying a home league cup ticket? No, we don't. Did that last week.
Yeah.
Any idea what Moyes sees that we don't?
Well, I hope he does see something. I mean, he saw something in Bowen. He saw something. I'm trying to think which players he's bought through that is, So one would think he has, he's meticulous in his scouting, and I'm hoping these have not just been a scattergun approach, and he's got some master plan we can't see because we're not football people. Well, I'm not.
No. Right. Okay. Cracking on. It's the mighty War. The Frenchman from Guernsey. It's Mr. Ian Wiley. Hi, all. He says 1 for Nigel. 6'2". The new. No, it's not.
Claret and you.
Ian.
Rhymes.
No, yes, but that's now. We don't want to go down the legal route, so I will not mention them. Len, I love the royal portraits. What a great idea.
Oh, bless you. Oh, so does Neil Orr.
Yeah. Sean. Neil Orr.
Yeah, he's just liked it.
Oh, was he?
How
Oh,
about
lovely.
that?
There you go.
Bless him.
Sean. He shouldn't have sold his shares in JP Morgan.
Who?
Ian Wiley.
Well, I've write a story about JP
I'm
Morgan
guessing
today.
why he said it. I'm guessing that's why he said it.
Yeah.
He's got a question for all of you. I don't know if that's French for yous. When will Moyes realise Souček needs to understand he has competition in Downs? Souček,
Yeah.
very sloppy. Well, we can all clip bad passes, though. I find that a bit distasteful, to be honest. With possession lately, though, he has been bad, I won't lie. I think it would be a good idea to give Downs a chance in the Premier League, see what he could do. Exactly right. Keep up the great works. And Nash, he's built the wall instead of a sensible net. Brady out!
Brady out.
There you go. Adam Levitt. How you doing, Adam? Hope you're well, son. What do we think about Trevor Sinclair and what he said about the Queen? Has he lost his legend status?
No. Look, I'm always seen eye to eye with him. I've said something before against him and his views. But do you know what? It's democracy and it's about opinions. I'm a royalist. I thought his timing was crap. I thought there's a time and a place. He didn't read the room. He tried to say it's mental health. We've heard things, you know. He likes to drink, maybe, allegedly, and but each of us have their own demons. It's just there's a time and a place, and his timing was awful, and the best thing he can do is nothing at the moment. But let it go, right? It's moved on. He's entitled to opinion. Not everyone's a royalist. Not everyone agrees with the monarchy, and a bit like religion, right? Some people believe, some people don't. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. You shouldn't force opinions down people's necks.
I don't think it was an opinion, Sean, to be honest.
So it's people doing a
I
3-hour
think it was just
podcast.
bile. I
Well,
think it was just bile,
it's-
and it's
but-
not the first time he's done it.
Well,
don't
I
like
know
the
that,
man,
but then
and
I try
let
not
him
to
know it.
hate anyone and vilify anyone
No,
because
what?
they're
'Cause he played
entitled
for
to
West Ham?
opinion. If he believes that the
No,
royal family
fuck
didn't do
off.
enough about racism, that's his entitlement
It's
to have an opinion.
irrelevant.
There's
No, it's
time and a place
fucking
to
well
say
not.
that.
Complete
And I say that
nonsense.
as a royalist.
Yeah.
That wasn't an opinion, what he spouted. That was not an opinion.
Okay.
No. It's
Turn the other cheek.
for me, without Sinclair, you don't get Di Canio's goal. And I think that's about all I can say about him at the moment. Next up, Paul Turton. Even though he's got 2 questions, if I may. You may, Paul. He said, why the fuck does Moyes not play Antonio and Scamacca together? And
We've
why the
talked
fuck
about
don't
that.
we cross balls in from the wide
We've
areas
talked
either to
about
attack? And why has Dan... That's 3 questions, Paul. Has Dan's been dropped after an excellent European debut?
And
He
we
said,
talked about that.
that's 3
He
questions.
likes his favourites.
There you go. He does like his favourites. Only a couple left. Oh. Shouldn't have pressed that button though.
Oh, what you done now?
Yeah, I know. Right, here we go. Where is it? Ed Hughes.
Loves a bit of squirrel.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry.
Thinking about Flynn Downs, is he in a bad example of first impressions? Rumours from the training ground in the first weeks was he wasn't trying enough. Wonder where them rumours started, Ed. And Moyes wasn't convinced. But he looked the real deal against Bucharest.
He sure
Do we
did.
think he turned up to his first day at work in flip-flops? I think he needs his chance over Souček. My theory, Ed, and this is total theory, is I think coming to play for the club he supported as a kid in the early days may have been a bit over raw for him. He was
Overwhelming, maybe?
Overwhelming is a better word. Overwhelmed with the situation he found himself in. 1 minute he's about to sign a contract, as Sean will tell you, at the Crystal Palace, and the next minute he's signing at the club he supported and lining up against with players, the likes of Creswell, Antonio, that have been here a few years, that he supported as a kid as well before he became a pro himself. So this, I'd like to think that's what it is. But then the football in him kicks in because undoubtedly I think he's a talented player. So that's what I think. I don't know if the others think differently. That's good. Next up is the Doog. Sean Dugan. Hello, chaps. Disappointing result on Sunday, but I think Deccan 2 centre halves are the only three who escaped criticism. I don't know about that, Sean, because I think it was actually Declan's fault for the goal. Question, though Fabianski was a bit slow getting down. Has the Rice-Souček defensive partnership run its course? Yes.
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 With
Definitely.
Lanzini and Downs maybe Coventry being better passers of the ball, is it time to wake up and smell the coffee? With the sad demise of Souček's form. Brady and VAR out.
Maybe with
VAR
when we
out.
told you about rumours that Moyes wanted rid of him in the summer, maybe he saw this before us.
And thus endeth.
I'm just reading a story from Kim Maguire, and I don't want to talk about it too much, but it'll be an interesting one. I'm sure I'll write a story. The Times are reporting that Premier League are considering a new deal, and you won't like this. I don't know if you've read this.
I sort of
No.
know what's coming.
FA Cup replays to be
Yeah.
scrapped in third and fourth round.
Yeah.
League Cup either scrapped or elite clubs field under 21 sides.
Yeah.
Parachute payments reduced to allow the elite to play more games in Europe, Asia, US as it becomes a global brand. Also, introduction of a soft wage cap, including transfer and agent fees, set a percentage of income. This will bake in existing gaps within the Premier League to make it difficult with clubs with new owners, such as Newcastle, to challenge the existing elite.
Yeah. And for me, this highlights the problem that we allowed in this country, perhaps with Abramovich, and it stems from there. Even though Abramovich really can't lay this stuff at the door of the foreign ownership coming into football clubs.
Yeah.
Because as soon as the foreign owners came in, those football clubs became purely just businesses. Yeah. While we argue that West Ham is a business, at least, I can't believe I'm going to say this, with Golden Sullivan at the club, there's a bit of support for the club itself as an institution. That's about the nicest you're going to get out of me with them.
Yeah.
But when you get the Americans, and more worryingly, Todd Bowley, who and the people that scream for these Americans to buy in the club, oh my God, thank God that man never looked at us. This will just progress.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of American owners are perhaps saying to their mates, come and buy a Premier League club. We'll take over it bit by bit.
Yeah. I'm going to do a little bit of research in this.
Yeah.
Good friend, Kieran McGuire.
I think what it is as well is that if you look at the League Cup, what you've also got is the Football League trophy, where we have an under-21 team.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's all split into groups of 4. It's possible that they would scrap that, replace
it's all part of this All-Stars.
so they would scrap that tournament. The EFL Cup would be played, and Premier League clubs will play their under-20. So that would be basically become the League Cup.
Yeah.
And you would play your under-21. I'm totally anti that.
Yeah.
For a start.
One thing, just changing, last thing that I didn't realise, and I don't know, it's a bloody nightmare. I'm not partying in Westfield again. I see our next home game is a train strike again.
Yeah.
And the marathon's on the same day. That will go well.
Yeah.
So here's my question, right?
Yeah.
And this is a valid question. What do you think I'm going to ask?
Should you drive?
No.
All right. I don't know then.
If the Premier League allowed Brighton to postpone their game because of train strike, why can't West Ham or any other club affected on the first to be either moved or postpone it?
Because in London you can get a bus.
From Surrey?
Ain't my problem. You live there, is it?
Well, the bus is not on strike then.
I don't know. Drive? I mean, let's face it. I don't think they should have done that.
And it's on the day of the marathon as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've been talking for 3 hours now. Over the 2 podcasts. This has been episode 10, and I'm sure you've listened to episode 9. If not, go and listen to episode 9 now. It is international break. I am back on Monday from Croatia, so I don't know. Are we recording next week? Are we going to see how it goes? How we feel? Or are we having a week off?
Let's see how we feel next
Play
week.
it by ear.
Play it by ear. So
Might
we
be able to
might
do
record,
something
we
a bit
might not
different,
record.
yeah.
Depends on how angry we feel and whether we've got anything to say. But for tonight, episode 10, I've been Sean, Nigel has been,
Rabbiting.
and Len has been.
Here for the second bit.
It's been a long one, but we got through it. Well done, everybody. Sleep tight. Good night. Hope the bed bugs don't bite. Come on, you irons.
Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast. Bobby Moore. More than just a podcast.